You're about to walk up that gangway. Maybe you're the first one in line, maybe the 50th. But before you swipe your cabin card, there are 25 things the cruise industry hopes you never figure out. And at least one of them is designed to quietly take money out of your pocket before you've even unpacked your suitcase. Most people think the ticket price is the real cost of a cruise. It isn't. The cruise industry earns billions every year, and a growing share of that comes from charges built to feel like part of the experience, not like a bill. I talked to former cruise directors, guest services staff, and travel agents who've handled hundreds of senior bookings. What they told me, off the record, is exactly what's in this video. Secret number 7 is the one that changes everything. Let's start from the top. Section 1, boarding day. 25, the welcome photo ambush.
The moment you step onto the ship, a photographer is waiting. Big smile, tropical backdrop, welcome aboard, and your photo is snapped before you realize what's happening. A few days later, it shows up on a digital display near the dining room, printed and priced. You are never obligated to buy it, and unsold photos are simply deleted at the end of the cruise. Smile, keep walking, and say no thank you before they can pose you. 24. The cabin thermostat lock. You turn the dial and nothing changes. That's not your imagination. Most ships run centralized climate control that keeps cabins in a narrow range no matter what the display says. For travelers sensitive to temperature, this can be genuinely uncomfortable. The fix? Visit guest services and simply ask for your thermostat range to be adjusted. Most crews can widen it within hours, no paperwork required. 23. The loyalty discount illusion. The exclusive 15% member discount is like a reward for loyalty. But the base fee show the European loyalty offers can be set higher before the discount is applied, so the final price sometimes lands close to or even above what a first-time booker pays. Always check pricing in a private incognito browser before logging into a loyalty account, so you're comparing against a true baseline. 22. The Wi-Fi spending profile. You connect to ship Wi-Fi, check email, browse a few shop purchases, harmless, right? And many ships are pictures of what you might buy. Browse jewelry and a shipping invitation may appear on your boot. Look at spot prices and a discount flyer that show up on your bed. If you'd rather not be tracked this way, a VPN or limited Wi-Fi use helps. 21. The priority boarding bottleneck. Cruise lines sell early boarding for extra money, but everyone who buys it arrives in the same narrow window, creating its own slow-moving line. Passengers who arrive an hour or so after boarding opens often walk straight through security. Timing your arrival can save both money and a long wait.
20. The minibar auto charge. Some ships use sensor-equipped minibars that register an item as consumed the moment it's moved, even if you only shifted a bottle to make room for medication. If you need fridge space, call your cabin steward and have the minibar emptied on day 1 and get a verbal confirmation of the time. 19. The shore excursion food trap. Excursions are often timed to end right around lunch, conveniently near tourist district restaurants where a simple meal can cost far more than it should. Eat a good breakfast on board, pack a few snacks, and if the excursion ends near port, consider walking back to the ship for the free lunch instead. Mid-roll engagement break. Quick pause. If you're finding this useful, tap that like button so it reaches other travelers before they sail, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. Section 2. Onboard spending traps. 18. The free upgrade room swap. An email congratulating you on a free upgrade feels like a win, but sometimes it's just a relabeled category with the same square footage, possibly in a noisier location near crew areas or entertainment decks. Check the deck plan before accepting, and you can usually request your original cabin back if the new one doesn't suit you. 17. Forgot your motion sickness tablets or antihistamines? The ship's medical center will sell you a small quantity at a steep markup. A simple solution? Pack a compact medicine kit from home. Motion sickness, antihistamines, pain relief, antacids, and basic first aid items. 16. The casino free play cycle. A spend $100, get $25 free offer sounds generous,
but casino comps are typically calculated from your historical spending and loss patterns. It's designed to bring you back, not just reward you. Set a hard limit before you sit down and treat any free credit as a bonus rather than a reason to keep playing. 15. The automatic gratuity stack. Daily gratuities are already added to your bill automatically, but ordering drinks or specialty items can add a separate service charge on top of that specific transaction, meaning you may be paying gratuity twice in different forms. Check your onboard account each night and look for duplicate charge patterns. 14. Drink package dynamic pricing. Some cruise sites adjust drink package prices based on your browsing behavior. Repeated visits or an abandoned cart can shift the price either way. Research once, then check again later, ideally from a different device or fresh browser. The best fleet-wide discounts are usually released 45 to 60 days before sailing. 13. Muster drill tracking. The mandatory safety drill isn't just about safety. Attendance is law, and skipping or delaying can trigger extra fines and include revenue rules. Completing quality is the simplest way to avoid any hassle. 12. Onboard credit spending pressure. A few $100s in onboard credit feels like free money, and research on spending psychology shows people tend to spend more once money feels like a gift rather than their own cash. Use it for things you'd book anyway. Gratuities, one nice dinner, a spa treatment, and stop once it's used up. 11. Report daily price manipulation. When your ship docks and passengers head ashore, onboard shops sometimes roll out exclusive quarterly discounts. Generous, but it's often inventory clearance on items that were simply marked up beforehand. Photograph any item you're interested in with the price tag visible and compare it again on a different day before buying. Section 3. The ones that really matter. 10. Disembarkation ghost charges. Your final bill can look clean on the morning you leave, but onboard accounting sometimes stays open for hours or days after disembarkation, during which pending charges can post. Before your last night ends, visit guest services, request an itemized statement, and dispute anything questionable while the ledger is still open. 9. The cabin steward tip timing effect. Tipping your steward early in the cruise, rather than waiting until the last day, tends to translate into better service throughout the week. Extra towels, quicker requests, a fan if your cabin runs warm. It's not a scam, just how the relationship works in your favor. 8. The specialty dining hook. A low-priced tasting experience on the first night is designed to get you hooked on the specialty restaurant, leading to pricier bookings later in the week. Booking one specialty dinner in advance online, often cheaper than on board, gives you the experience without the repeat spending. The main dining including the food, covers the rest well. 7. This is the a serious medical event at sea can require helicopter evacuation to a mainland hospital, and the cost. 7. The medical evacuation cost gap. This is the big one. A serious medical event at sea can require helicopter evacuation to a mainland hospital, and the cost is not covered by the cruise line. It falls on you. Costs can run into the tens of thousands of dollars, and standard travel insurance often caps evacuation coverage way below that. Before every cruise, it's worth asking any insurer directly. Does this policy cover maritime medical evacuation, and what is the coverage limit? Dedicated evacuation-specific plans exist and are worth pricing out, especially for older travelers. 6. The accessible cabin bait and switch. Cruise lines are required to offer accessible cabins, but demand can outpace supply, especially closer to sailing date. Book as early as possible. Get your request in writing, and if told none are available, ask specifically for the accessibility ADA compliance contact by name. 5. The Future Cruise Deposit Lock. On the last couple of nights, crew often encourage booking your next cruise on board. The deposit itself is usually refundable, but packages bundled in at the same time, drink, dining, Wi-Fi, are frequently non-refundable once attached. Book the cruise if the deal is good, but wait until you're home to add any extras. 4. The Shore Excursion Insurance Gap.
Book an excursion through the cruise line, and the ship will typically wait if their vendor causes a delay. Book independently, and you're on your own if you're late. Independent excursions can be cheaper, but build in a generous buffer before all aboard time if you go that route. 3. The duty-free pricing myth. Duty-free means no import tax was applied. It does not mean the price is low. Base prices are generally watches and accessories can still be marked up well above retail. Photograph the item and price tab, and check it online once you're at a port with signal before buying. 2. The travel agent commission silence. Many people book directly with the cruise line, assuming that's the best deal. But cruise-specialized travel agents often receive a commission and pass part of it back as onboard credit, cabin upgrades, or perks at the same price you paid booking direct. Getting from an agent alongside the price is roughly a 2 minutes. 1. Post-booking price drop refund.
This is the biggest one. If your cabin's price drops after you've booked, even after final payment, many cruise lines will offer a refund, onboard credit, or upgrade, but they will not tell you it dropped. You have to catch it yourself. Check your fare weekly after booking, right up to final payment. If it's dropped, call and use this line. I noticed my cabin category has dropped in price. I'd like to request a fare adjustment or equivalent onboard credit. This single habit has saved travelers real money, and most never think to check. Knowing these 25 secrets puts you ahead of almost every first-time cruiser. But there's a separate mistake that happens before you even reach the ship, in what you pack. One item sitting in most senior suitcases right now is one of the most common reasons for a delay at security. That's next, the packing mistakes that get travelers flagged before boarding. See you there.